Welcome to a new podcast, continuing our amazing journey through the book, The Great Controversy by Ellen White. Today, we will study the chapter titled, The Netherlands and Scandinavia. In the northern countries, the gospel found a peaceful entrance. The reformers were not noisy, sectarian, or uneducated. They knew the Word of God well. This short chapter is dedicated to recognize the development of the biblical faith in the Netherlands and Scandinavia. In the Netherlands, also named Holland, there were always faithful believers who protested against papal tyranny. Mino Simonis points out that, although he was Catholic and in no way wanted to renounce his faith, he had no choice but to do so when he encountered biblical truths and contrasted them with the traditional teachings he had embraced. Having renounced the Roman Church, Mino traveled throughout the Netherlands and northern Germany with his wife and children to teach the truths he had received. His ministry lasted 25 years, and as a result of it, the Reformed teachings had a great acceptance in the Netherlands. The consequent persecution by the empire and the papists was also proportional. While in Germany the princes had prevented the persecution from becoming worse, in the Netherlands the power of Charles V was greater, and the edicts of persecution followed each other in rapid succession. Thousands perished during the reigns of Charles V and Philip II, although, as we can read, the wrath of the persecutors was matched by the faith of the martyrs. In the countries of Northern Europe, in Scandinavia, today mainly the countries of Denmark, Sweden, and Norway, the progress of the gospel found a peaceful entry. Certain students of Wittenberg, returning to their homes, introduced the Reformed faith into the Scandinavian peninsula. The rough and simple people of the north turned away from the corruption, pomp, and superstitions of Rome to welcome the purity, simplicity, and purifying truths of the Bible. Tausen, educated at German universities and seen by Catholic authorities as a devoted champion of his faith, is quoted. Tausen was infected with Lutheranism and preached from the pulpit as well as from the cell in which he was placed before a royal edict offered protection to the propagators of the new doctrine. With this edict, he was able to preach again in churches where people gathered to hear him. The Bible was translated into Danish, and soon Denmark declared that it accepted the Reformed faith. The same testimony is presented to us from Sweden, where Olaf and Lorenzo Petri, favored by the king, were able to skillfully defend the Reformed faith against the Roman Catholic champions. We end this chapter by presenting the profile of the men who formed the ranks of the reformers. We can read, they were not noisy nor controversial, sectarians or uneducated. Far from it. They were men who had studied the Word of God and were skilled in the handling of the weapons that the armory of the Bible had provided them. In scholarship, they were the most advanced of their time. When we look at the brilliant centers of Wittenberg and Zurich, and at the illustrious names of Luther and Melanchthon, of Zwingli and Oecolampadius, we're often told that these were the leaders of the movement, and that we should naturally expect from them prodigious power and great store of knowledge, but that the underlings were not like them. Well, if we cast a glance over the dark theater of Sweden, and going from the teachers to the disciples, we look at the humble names of Olaf and Lorenzo Petri, what do we find? Teachers and theologians, men who accurately understood the whole system of gospel truth and who won easy victories over the sophists of the colleges and the dignitaries of Rome. Dear friends, God uses the educated and illiterate for the advancement of His work. He only needs willingness and dedication to make us His collaborators. In the end times of the history of this world, are we willing to give Him and His work, our talents and our lives, as useful instruments for His cause?